It's February. And what that means is we're 1 month away from March. And in March, we celebrate Marchintosh. There's a lot of different ways we can celebrate Marchintosh. We can celebrate it the PowerPC route. You can also celebrate it the Macintosh 68K route. On this channel and in this video, we're going to talk about the preparations to celebrate Marchintosh Atari style. Let's get to it. The original Macintosh launched in 1984. About a year and a half later, in mid-1985, the Atari 520 ST was launched. It offered substantially more performance, or in many ways more performance, for a much lower price than the Macintosh. And so soon after that, actually relatively soon after that, given the similar natures of some of the architecture between the two systems, commercial products to emulate Mac software, Mac capabilities on the Atari ST were first launched. There was a series of products. There was the Magic Sack, Spectre 128, and then Spectre GCR eventually, that were a hardware-software solution and involved using the cartridge port as well as some original Macintosh ROMs. The last one, the GCR, Spectre GCR, actually had you plug in the floppy disk drive into the cartridge port, so that it actually provided a translation to the Mac format, so you could read directly from Mac formatted disks and use them in the Atari ST, which is a benefit, right? So you could run that in your Macintosh software at a much lower price. So if you added the emulator, the hardware, all that, along with the hardware for the Atari 520 ST, you still came out ahead from a price perspective. Then a little later on, some other folks, I think this was in Germany, a product called Aladdin was also developed. Very similar in nature, not identical, obviously, but similar in nature, and offered some more compatibility, again, with the original Macintoshes. And that was great, wonderful, right? Fast forward a number of years to the late 90s, early 2000s, a software program, an emulation program called Basilisk II, was put together and was being developed. And this was being developed for PowerPC, BOS, Windows eventually as well, in order to emulate the 68K Macintoshes. And that's great, it's wonderful. It was eventually used with, I think the Amiga can use it as well. And even recently, I think as recently as like 2021, 2022, a Atari power user, whatever, probably a software developer as well, a gentleman named, well, goes by the name Agrenlund. Agrenlund, I think he's based in Sweden, had done some work on Basilisk and porting Basilisk to be able to run, Basilisk II to be able to run on the Atari ST. Actually, an accelerated Atari ST. This doesn't run necessarily on a base model Atari ST. It requires some specific things. So, this individual has shown some tantalizing video snippets of him playing some games, of course, and running some Macintosh software on his Atari 520 ST. Actually, he also has a video card in it as well. And there's a video of him of playing Warcraft, the original Warcraft, Orcs and Humans. I think he's got some photos of him playing a slideshow of Warcraft 2, Tides of Darkness, or whichever the Warcraft 2, the original Warcraft 2 game as well. And then Civilization 2. Those things, those are games I remember actually playing on my original Pentium computer. And it's kind of cool to think of the possibility of running that on this stuff. It's a challenge. I've tried a couple of times, very half-heartedly, pulled up the software, tried a couple things here and there, never got it to go. So this video is a journey of me. You're going to come along with me, trying to figure out how to get that to work, getting the Basilisk II software to work, going through all the requirements and getting it to function, trying to get it function on all three of these computers so that I can rightfully slap this sticker on this computer and call it a Mac for at least a month. Mac Marchintosh. All right, what do we need in order to try out Basilisk 2 or running Macintosh software on an Atari ST? All right, we need first and foremost an Atari ST with at least a 68020 plus CPU. You need 4 megabytes of RAM minimum. Mint, this is a multitasking operating system installed on a hard drive, is recommended. Basilisk 2 Atari port, obviously. You need some ROM files. You need a Macintosh hard disk image. If you would like to try MMU graphic emulation, you need at least a 68030 with an MMU and at least 8 megabytes in order to get that to work. And then lastly, optionally, if you have a VGA card, you can do some pretty awesome stuff with that, right? So you get the best video out in that case. Now let's introduce the Marchintaritosh Contenders. What are the 3 computers I'm going to go for? We're going to start off with the OG Atari ST. The specifications for this guy, it's a 5520 ST. This is no internal floppy. It's a beautiful computer, nice short computer. It's sporting a 68030 at 50 megahertz. This has a terrible fire 536 inside. 4 megabytes of ST RAM, 64 megabytes of TT or fast RAM. It also, for a hard drive, has an SD to IDE adapter. And then it's also running eMuTOS. Moving to contender number 2, we have the Mega Boosted ST. This guy crammed a lot of stuff into this computer here. It's an Atari Mega SD4, a 68030 at 50 megahertz, 4 megabytes of ST RAM, 64 megabytes of TT or fast RAM. Again, it has a terrible fire 536 inside. In addition to that, it also has a Tsang ET4000 VGA card that is installed using an ISA to Megabus adapter. It also is sporting an IDE CF card, has a hard drive, and then lastly, again, it has eMuTOS as well. All right, the last computer we're going to try this out on is the final Atari swan song, Atari Falcon 30. This is running a 68060 at 68 megahertz with FPU. This is a CT63. We're sporting 14 megabytes of ST RAM, 250 megabytes of TT or fast RAM. We have an SD to IDE adapter for a hard drive, and then we're running TOS 4.04. This is the last contender here. All right, one of the recommendations is to install Mint, or Mint is now TOS. It's a multitasking operating system for the Atari ST on your hard drive. There is a great guide, or a series of great guides, put on by the channel Commodore is Not the Only Fruit. He does a fantastic job going over how to set up Mint. I'm not going to do that here. All I'm going to do is simply walk through how to find Mint, where to get it, and then that's it. All right. The best place to get Mint is freemint.github.io, as you can see here. And as you scroll down, there's a lot of things you can click on. Don't just click on download right away. Under snapshots, I would recommend that you click on download bootable, pre-configured and maintained FreeMiNT archives for ST and 020 plus machines. So if you click on that, it will take you to a series of other links and a list of various different snapshots over time. And as you can see here, I'm zooming in slowly but surely on the 020 to 060 TT Falcon clones version of this. This is for accelerated Atari STs. All right, there's a fantastic post on the Exos forum going over Basilisk 2 on the Atari. There's a whole bunch of troubleshooting, a whole bunch of information in here, as you can see me scrolling up and down. I think there's 40 plus pages worth of Q&A and troubleshooting and whatnot. If you want to go down this path to learn more about this, this is the place to start, because this is where it was kind of invented and kind of tested out by loads of individuals here. All right, from here, I highly recommend that you go to the Basilisk II for Atari. This is Agron Loon's set of basically his homepage where he has a lot of his projects listed out here, but Basilisk II is listed here. This is where you can download the program ported for the Atari ST. He also has a series of test disk images that you can play around with as well and see how those things work. Once you go here, some of the other things you may want to do is you may want to get access to other 68K software. Macintosh Garden is an excellent source for that information and for those programs. In addition, between the Basilisk 2 web page, as well as the Macintosh Garden, this is also another place where you can get ROMs, a ROM archive, and download a whole series of ROMs that you can test out. You're not interested in any of the Power PC, you want the 68K ones, and so you want to get that there. But if you want other software, this is also a place where you can get things like Civilization. You can try to find Warcraft, Warcraft 2, other software in order to get set up for your computer. So here is the SD card that I use for my hard drive, and this guy here. This is my 520 ST, TF536, and yeah, I've copied Mint, basically removed everything from the auto directory, copied Mint along with the auto directory for Mint onto this. I'm using the Falcon or the 020 to 060 version of Mint since this is an 030. Let's see if it works. You're going to learn with me right at the same time. We're learning real time. We're plugged in. All right. Appears to be working. All right. We are good. Step number 1, get Mint working on this system is done. A lot more setup to do that, as you can see on the screen. It's not exactly the prettiest picture, but we can make this work. I'm pretty happy with where we're at right now. Okay, we have the Basilisk software, ROMs, and a hard disk on the hard disk or the SD card here. Let's boot up. We'll boot up into Mint first. And see where that gets us. NVDI Mint, let's start with that. And then we can just play around with things to see if I need to adjust anything to make it work. We may want to load using a high resolution monochrome monitor. We'll see. Let's go to, I believe it's in storage. Yes, Mac EMU. We have the Basilisk program. All right, we have Mac 2. Let's select the ROM. I have LC3. I'm going to start. Let's start with the 2SI to begin with, and the video, MMU acceleration. So let's try to MMU accelerate. Let's turn off sound, and let's turn off the log file because I've read that there can be issues with both of those. So we're just gonna see what happens. Click start. And it takes a little bit of time. Oh, unsupported video mode. It doesn't like the video mode that we have. All right. Let's see if I can do a different video mode. I may have to go to a different version. See if it likes native. No, it doesn't like native. So we will go to a monochrome screen, see if that helps. Monochrome screen. Let's see what happens. Ooh, look at that refresh rate. All right. We'll go the same route again. NVDI Mint. Ooh, that's interesting. Let's see. Make sure that we are high. And we will go to storage over here. Let's see if that works. Oh, sorry about the flashingness. Ooh, it looks like we might have something. Oh, there we go. A little bit of funkiness with the screen, but hey. Dang. Okay. We have a jittery screen. System 7.5. Got the 64 megabytes of RAM. All right. Oh, did something. All right. Let's take a look at monitors. Yeah. Okay, well, we have something working. I need to do some more homework. But the 520 ST has successfully demonstrated running Mac OS, System 7.5.3 or something, 5.5, I don't remember which one it is. And yeah, it's in black and white, monochrome. But hey, it's a good starting point. 1 down, 2 to go. Okay, now we are looking at the Mega ST. We've installed the same software, the Basilisk software, but I've also added the VGA drivers as well to drive the ET4000 video card. We'll see what happens here. I basically did a clean install because I was getting a lot of issues with it, with kind of trying to combine stuff together. So we're going with a clean install. Again, we're running EmuTOS as the base TOS, similar to the 520 ST, but along with the TF536. But in this case, we have a VGA graphics card installed. All right, we're getting EmuTOS. Ooh, it's not recognizing the VGA monitor. And the VGA drivers are trying to access the VGA card, but something's going on with the VGA card. That's not fun, because it was working the last time I tried it. All right, let's dig into this. Yes, I know this is a bit of electronic sandwich. We have the TF536 here with the CF card reader attached to the ID drive, or the CF card adapter. We have the adapter for the ISA in the Mega ST slot. We have the Sang Labs ET4000 card here. I know it works. It was working. I even have a video of it working, getting it all set up previously. And it isn't liking what, once I opened it up and swapped out the card, the CF card, it wasn't liking that. So yeah, again, it's Unfortunately, booting up EmuTOS without the VGA. All right, tried one more thing here. We'll see if we can't get this guy going. This is positive. Ah, whew. All right. And we're trying to run Mint. And then Mint freezes up. Oh, you gotta love it. All right. We're going to try something else. What I'm going to try to do is see if I can't take Mint off and see if I can at least get the VGA working without Mint. And maybe we can get Basilisk running without Mint. My understanding is it works. It has a hard time with EmuTOS without Mint to help with the hard drive access, meaning that it will run crazy slow. At least that's what I've read, and I could be completely wrong. So if you know, put some comments below. We'll see if we can't get this at least booting up again. All right, it's the next day, or actually a couple days later, and we're looking at this again. I think we have the Mega ST working at least the way I'd like it to. I've removed the video drivers. I'm trying to get down to the bare minimum of what we can have installed on it so I can try to run the Mac OS from it using Basilisk II. All right, we have EmuTOS booting. It should pop up on that screen over there. There we go. So let's just zoom in there. And we got Basilisk running right here. We're going to do native. No sound, log file off. We got the LC3 ROM. Let's try that. Actually, let's try the 2SI ROM instead. Start simple. And let's see what happens. One of the biggest issues that I find with this guy, all right, we got the Happy Mac, meaning that it's detected the hard drive image rather. This is positive, I hope. And this is going real slow. Now we're running in black and white. We're not even running in monochrome. This is in series of gray. Let's see if the hard drive is still activating. There's some activity lighting up. Seeing some progress, slow. Still showing hard drive activity. It's going real slow. It's been about 1.5 minutes or 3.5 minutes, close to 4 minutes on the boot up. Still booting. Still some hard drive activity going on there. Ooh. We have the desktop loading up, and its hard drive activity is no longer active, and this thing froze up at the last second. This is probably as bare minimum of an install that I can actually go with on this guy. We got 1 out of 2 so far. I might be able to try a few other things. The one issue that I have with this guy here, right, is I'm using the IDE header on the TF536 for the hard drive capability. I can't use the ASCII. It doesn't like it with the TF536 in it. If I was just running with a 68,000, it works just fine. But there's noise on the Mega ST bus, or it's at least from what I've been reading and what I've been told is the Mega ST has one of the noisier buses of the Atari STs. And so there can be random various different issues. I'm sure there are some folks who could probably do better than I can in fixing this and getting it potentially working. But at the moment, I think we're stuck with a frozen, almost loading screen in fully monochrome. I'll maybe try a couple other things as well, see if I can't try to get it a little further. But fact is, we're here, we're prepped partly for Marchintosh, at least with the 520 ST. That guy over there, he's ready to go. The Mega ST will need a little more work. That's one for two. The last guy, this is the Falcon. We'll see how the Falcon goes. I'll come back tomorrow probably with some news on the Falcon. We'll try some stuff out on that one. Okay, now we are trying to boot Mac OS on the Atari Falcon. I have copied the ROMs, Basilisk, as well as a hard disk image over to the Atari Falcon here. One other thing to note is that my understanding, so I've done a lot of research on this, digging into it. There's a great forum post on Exos. Again, this is very experimental. This forum post is quite long, 40 pages long, with lots of experimental results back and forth. But it kind of details some of the things that were done in order to get this Basilisk running on the Atari ST line of computers specifically. What I have here, this is a video output for the Atari Falcon. This is an adapter. There's, I don't know if you can see inside there, there's a little switch in there. I've just 3D printed this case and cut open a little hole for it. But that switch there allows me to switch between RGB mode and VGA mode. And in reading the forum post, I want to be in RGB mode to make certain that I can display the screen in true color at near VGA resolutions, right? So VGA resolutions in true color, or not true color, but 64,000 colors on the Falcon. All right, so we've also got Mint installed. I already had Mint installed on my Falcon, so no worries about that. One thing I did have to do, and this is going into the, I believe the Mint INI, or not INI, INF, because it's you have to turn off memory protection on it as well in order to run through Mint. Also, again, performance is significantly better when running through Mint than through TOS directly. So we're just going to plug this guy in. All right, here you go. And get the screen on. I got my mouse. We are ready to go. We will now boot up the Falcon. There we are. And this is interlaced, and it's looking amazing on this TV. Really, I haven't actually run it interlaced on this TV before. So no flicker, or very minimal flicker. We're going to run Mint. If you read through what's going on here or pause it, you'll notice that I did turn off the memory protection already. All right. What BW Bad Wolf, his name on the forum and the Atari Exos forum, he sets his screen. I'm going to try to follow exactly what he did. Video options here. We're going to go overscan. We have double line already. We'll go to 64K colors, true color mode. All right. That's kind of a little off the screen here, but we'll live with it as it is. So I have a bunch of different versions of Basilisk as well, because it went through a lot of different revisions. I wanted to make sure I had those there. We have all the ROMs here as well. Go to Basilisk. All right, let's take a look at this. So I've got the LC3 ROM, a couple of Quadra ROMs as well. Actually, more than a couple, just in case. And we froze up. That's not good. Let's see if we can't get this to work properly, though. All right. Let's take a look. We'll open this guy up a little bit. Take off the lid. Is there something? And how it's connected. Now let's try it again. All right. Come on. Okay. Something is up. I'm not sure what it is. My Atari Falcon is giving me trouble. Let's just boot into 030 mode. Let's make sure everything's working, at least that I didn't have to fry the Falcon. I have not fried the Falcon. It's looking good. All right, we're going to power you off. And let's just go that route. There we go. One of the things I've noticed that on occasion there might be something wrong with my SD RAM. It occasionally will show up at, like, once in a blue moon, the SD RAM just decides to throw up at me. That could be what's going on here. I do have some new SD RAM sticks on order, so in case this happens again, it's a work in progress. All right, it's Mint INI, not INF, excuse me, that you have to edit and remove memory protection in order to get it to run properly. All right. All right. I was rudely interrupted by my lovely telephone, but what we have to do is we have to change the video options here. I want to change this to overscan, change the colors to 64K colors, click OK. As I mentioned before, get this swapped over, bada bing, bada bang, bada working. All right. And we load a Basilisk. So in this case, versus the Atari 520 ST and Mega ST, I'm not picking Mac 2, I'm picking Quadra. I'm using a Quadra ROM here. So I can simply select on this and pick a different Quadra ROM. I'm picking this one here. That was the one it's actually, this one's based on the Quadra 650. I actually have that computer here as well myself. And actually that's listed as one of the best ROMs to use in Basilisk for the Atari ST. I'm leaving sound off because sound is sometimes causes errors. So we are going to we're going to use MMU acceleration. So we're basically going to let the computer, the MMU, do emulated graphics here. There might be a way to run it as native, but we'll start with MMU to begin with. And we go. We're going to fast forward through this part because it takes a little while to load. Oh, actually, no, it doesn't. It's a lot faster on the Falcon. Heck of a lot faster. There we go. So I had copied over Civilization on Basilisk on my PC. Civilization 2. We are working. Whoa, that is slow. System. Let's just check the colors here. So we have 256 grays, 256 colors, thousands of colors. We have a couple different resolutions we can go to. We'll go back over here. And we got to at least try it, right? Cross your fingers. Did that work? Okay, there we go. Maybe. Oh, oh man, that's weird. I think that's probably part of the emulation side. Doesn't seem to be too speedy. Oh man. Oh man, this is awesome. Start a game. Let's go for a long game, sure. Emperor, let's go for that. These are the settings I had on my when I was running this on my PC. If you couldn't tell, I'm smiling dumbly. We're going to pick the Vikings, yes. Canute is my name, medieval castle. Oh boy. Yes. Okay. I'm going to leave it at this. We got it running. We did all the prep work. We're running. We'll do more reviews of this later. I don't want to spoil anything for Marchintosh. All right. Okay. We've had some success. 2 out of 3. A little bit of failure. 1 out of 3. This guy here, I think we'll call him a failure when it comes to running Basilisk and pretending like he's a Macintosh. He has surrendered, my Mega ST has surrendered his Apple sticker to the 520 ST. Well, I hope you come back and join me for Marchintosh Atari style. I am so stoked to just goof around with this stuff. Is it useful? Is it productive? Is it kind of fun to see if we can make it work? Absolutely. All right. Join me in March for Atari-style Marchintosh. Have a great day.